Hey everybody, welcome back to the IHC Craft Room. Today is a bonus live. It's live number 11 in the Sweetheart Season series, and we're going to be making some bleeding heart wax melts. I'm super excited about these. I've made them before, and they came out a little ratchet, but they worked, and I'm excited to do it again tonight. So we're going to be using Millennium soy wax for every part of this because the shapes that we're making are pretty basic. They don't have like arms and legs and things sticking out of them. So we don't need anything fancy like pillar wax. We can stick with the Millennium soy wax for the inner and the outer heart. So I'm going to get this out of here. We're going to start with a little bit of maker math so that we can measure out our wax and pop it into the double boiler. So we're going to start with a little bit of candle maker math. We're going to be using all of these silicone molds. I have another one as well. And I'm targeting a 10% fragrance load. Listen, when we're making melts, it's a guess, okay? I don't know how much wax everything is going to hold. I'm basically guessing at my molds. You could do the water thing if you want to. I've never wanted to do that with molds. It's really annoying trying to dry them. So I'm basically kind of guessing and making sure that my fragrance load is correct. But if I have some leftover wax, I don't have a problem just pouring it into another mold and making extra melts. So just a little disclaimer about that because I'm definitely kind of guessing here. Okay, so we're going to be using two different fragrance oils today. One is a vanilla cream and the other is called strawberry jam. And we're going to use the vanilla cream for the outer part of our melt and strawberry jam for the inside, which is going to be so much fun. So we're going to need 227 grams of Millennium soy wax and 23 grams of vanilla cream fragrance oil in order to have the melted wax combination for the outer part of our wax melts. And then for the inner hearts, we're going to do 45 grams of Millennium soy wax and 5 grams of strawberry jam fragrance oil. And then we're going to make little hearts out of it. So I'm going to put red in mine today, but I actually have different colors that I prepared ahead of time. So we're going to see a whole bunch. So stick around till the end. I'm going to melt some of these in front of you so you can see them bleed, which is why these are so much fun. I really enjoy these and I have to try them with different shapes. I've never done that yet. I've only used hearts so far. Okay, so let's get started with measuring out our wax. I'm going to grab my, here, you can move for now. I'm going to grab my scale and my small pour pot. I normally put a piece of parchment paper and a paper towel when I'm measuring my fragrance oil. So since we're going to be doing all the measuring now, we'll just do that as well. And a pair of rubber gloves because you never want to touch fragrance oil directly with your hands. That is no bueno. And also, you don't want to smell like it all the time. Even though strawberry and vanilla would be a nice thing to smell like. Okay, so let me grab my soy wax. Remember to always have your scale zeroed out when you already have your measuring cup on it so that you don't accidentally mess up your measurement because you didn't factor in the pour pot as well. Okay, so as I said, we need 227 grams of wax for the outer part of the wax melts. And for the inner part, we're going to need 45 grams. So I'm going to melt it all together at 272 grams is what we're looking at. Oh, there's a big block over here. It's about to fall out. Come on, dude, just fall. There you go. 272. Okay. So once we've melted all of the wax, I'm going to pour some into a this measuring cup, and that's where we'll mix in our red liquid dye. But for now, we're going to put this whole thing in there. Wonderbar. Let's measure out our fragrance oil. So again, we only need a little bit of strawberry jam because we're just doing it for the hearts. So 5 grams is very, very little. Oh, you know what? I don't think I grabbed any pipettes. I think I only have one. Okay, here we go. 5 grams, there's no way I'm going to be able to put 5 grams in here. I don't have that kind of skill. It would end up at like 12 before I managed to stop. So no. Well, actually, get out of here. Get right out of here. I am so impressed with myself right now. You have no idea. That just made my day. Never have I ever been able to do that. I bet that question wouldn't come up in a game of Never Have I Ever. Okay, so that's 5 grams of strawberry jam. Oh, gosh, doesn't that smell good? Oh, I never even talked about the fragrance notes on strawberry jam. Let's talk about that really quick. So strawberry jam's fragrance notes, the top is strawberry, peach, and coconut. The mid notes are strawberry preserve and green twigs. And the base is pearl sugar. And it is delicious, let me tell you. Okay, vanilla cream. And we need 23 grams of this. I need to get another paper towel because I'm really good at making messes. So, okay, 23 grams. Here we go. This whole bottle is 30. So, I don't know why I'm being so conservative when I know most of this bottle is going to go in here. What did I say? 23? Yeah. Solo un poquito. I'm dripping. Okay, for sure, I'm not going to be able to get 1 gram by pouring. And this I'm definitely not going to get. So I'm going to use my pipette for this. 1 little gram. There's really very little left in here. Okay. We got there. I'm gonna toss this. And where's my cap? Man, I made a mess of this one. See, this is exactly the reason why I do always cover my scale with parchment paper and paper towel. You can see I spilled some there. So, bueno. Hi there, Tony. Thanks for watching. I am gonna make some bleeding heart wax melts tonight. So if you're just joining, stick around till the end. I'm going to start melting them pretty soon, actually. Okay, vanilla cream. We never talked about this fragrance oil either. This one has a lot less complex fragrance notes. This one has a top of vanilla bean. The mid is cinnamon and soft butter. And the base is tonka bean and sugar, which is just delightful. It's really just a sweet vanilla is what it is, which is really nice. Okay, I am not going to be measuring anything like that anymore, but I'm going to have to measure our melted wax into this vessel. So I'll just put this aside for now, but we're going to be needing it shortly. And it's time to do a little demolding because we don't have any wicks to worry about today. So I'm going to show you the wax melts that I have already pre-made. So I've filled these little teeny tiny hearts. I made a few of these ones. Now, whether you like it or you don't, that's your call. I've never used tiny hearts before inside of these double, like these bleeding heart waxes. When I did it last year, I used just that red mold, which I'll show you again. But this year I decided to try putting these colored ones, these little teeny tiny ones. And I made them very shallow because there's only so much room. So basically what we're doing is this. I'm going to show you. We're going to take our melted wax that is scented with vanilla fragrance oil or vanilla cream fragrance oil. And we are going to pour about halfway on each of these large hearts. Okay. Then we're going to let that solidify for a while. We're going to let it like firm up, which means we're going to actually get it to be around 90 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to keep checking. This is why my temperature gun is right here to my left because I'm going to be using it for sure. And hi there, Guadalupe. Thank you for joining. We're making some bleeding heart wax melts tonight. So as I was saying, we're going to pour the first layer of the scented vanilla cream wax into each of these large molds, and we'll fill it about halfway. Then we're going to let it cool down drastically to like 90 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And from that point, it'll have like almost like an opaque cover. It'll start to get that kind of slushy consistency. And then we're going to take these little colored hearts and pop them into that slushy wax and make sure that it's sitting well in it, but it's not touching the bottom, because we want it to be completely encased in the white wax so you can't see it and it's a surprise. Then once we've let the wax cool down a little bit further, up to about 100 degrees or so, we're then going to pour a top coat over top of that. So that's how we're going to encase the different color inside the plain white exterior, and they're going to be so cool. I actually have made these before, and like I said, last year they were a bit ratchet. So I'm pretty pumped about the way the ones I made last night turned out. So these turned out super great. If you look at these, can you see any color? No, right? So you can't tell that there's something inside on this side. Let's see how we do when we demold it. Well, you can't see it on this side either. Oh man, these are all coming out so good. So this comes down to the temperature where I stopped, I think. Oh, they all came out so great. So I'm going to melt these. I don't know what color heart is in them. I lost track when I was making them, honestly. So it could be, I have yellow, green, red, and blue hearts that are inside my pre-made melts. And I have a lot of them here. I have quite a few. So we're going to make ours right now, but this is what we're going to end up with. And I'm going to melt these. So stick around, because that's going to be so much fun. I really enjoy this project. It's a lot of fun to have these surprise melted wax. Okay, let's see, where are we at? 182. Okay, I wanted to get a little bit warmer than that. And I'll tell you why. You always want your wax to reach a temperature of at least 185 degrees Fahrenheit when you are mixing wax with fragrance. That's because at 185 degrees Fahrenheit, the molecules of the wax open up and they are able to receive and bond with the fragrance molecules. That's going to give you a better scent throw and an even amount of fragrance all the way through your candle or whatever you're making, in this case, wax melts. So we're going to see. I'm going to give that a couple more seconds to try to warm up a little more. And if not, we'll be reckless and go a little bit short in time, in temperature. But I wanted to show you that I found these at the dollar store. I think it was Dollar Tree. These really cute tins. These would be excellent if you wanted to gift these bleeding heart melts to somebody. They are perfect to kind of contain the cold throw. And they're so cute. Look how cute. For my sweetheart. I think these are awesome. I love them. I'm very excited about using them. And I also bought these zipper seal bags that are Saint Valentin. They have some like hearts and stuff on them. I thought that was so cute. I've never seen, I'm sure they have them. I don't know why I never noticed it before. But anyway, I was really excited about those. So that's another option of being able to like seal the fragrance in so that it's not kind of lost, you know? All right, 186. Woo-hoo, we got there. So I'm going to take this off the burner. I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to move it off to the side. But I'm actually not going to take this fully away today because I might need to reheat something. We'll see. Hopefully not, but you never know. Okay. That way I have a little bit more room to roam. So first things first, we need to measure out the wax that we need for our strawberry hearts, like these little mini hearts that we're going to do. So I need to pour 45 grams into this. Let's hope I can do it without causing a disaster. All right, here we go. All right, beautiful. So now we've got 45 grams in here, 227 grams in here, and we're going to start mixing in our fragrance oils. So I'm going to start with the strawberry jam, and I'm going to actually do these mini hearts before I pour the white. No, I'm not. I'm trying to think of what's going to solidify first. This will, because there's very little wax in here. So it's going to cool down really quickly. And I didn't think to hit this with my heat gun to warm up the vessel, which is going to make this cool down even further. So it's not a big deal. If these pour a little bit cool, it's also the reason why I chose a microwave safe vessel so that I could pop it in the microwave if I need to melt this down a little bit, but it's not a big deal. So you want to stir your fragrance oil for 3 minutes. Actually, I wish I had another stir stick. Do I have one? I'm going to stir these at the same time. I'm a little spastic, but I can do it. Let's see. All right. Pause. Okay. This is going to be spazzy. Okay, so it's 7:16. We are going to stir for 3 minutes. Oh, I just realized this is directly on the table, which is no bueno. Another thing, because temperature, the table's cold, so it's cooling down the wax more than I want it to right now. Okay, so we're stirring for 3 minutes. This is another thing that helps the wax and the fragrance oil bond with each other. The continued stirring for 3 whole minutes. Now, it's recommended 2 to 3 minutes for soy wax. I go to 3 because, I don't know, I figure that extra minute is going to do something. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I think it's a great idea. You'll also notice that I didn't add my color yet for this one here, which is our strawberry jam. And the reason for that is I don't want to interfere with the bonding of the wax and the fragrance oil. As soon as you introduce the color is going to interfere. So you don't want to add that extra coat between them. You really want them to bond. It's very important that they become besties because that's what's going to give you some really good scent throw. And when we're talking about melts, there's a lot less of an opportunity to mess up with scent throw because you don't have the added issue of wicks. So you don't have to worry about how the wick's going to throw the scent because this is just a melt. And melts are so much fun because they are so quick. Like what I mean by that is, first of all, they're going to be quick to make. We're going to be done this in no time. But also, if you, let's say you are home for like an hour and you want to put some beautiful scent in the air, but you don't have time to commit to a candle. If you pop a melt onto a melter, whether it's electric or tea light warmer, I'm telling you within 15 minutes, you will have a beautiful scented room in no time. And then because it's a tea light or you might have an electric one, because I have an electric wax melter over here, you can blow it out and move on with your life and not have to worry. Meanwhile, if you blow out a candle after only 15 minutes or 20 minutes, you're going to end up with tunneling because the wax will create a tunnel that you then have to live with for the rest of the life of the candle, basically. Do you see how spazzy I'm stirring these? Like they're not really in time with each other. Sometimes they're in time with, I don't know what's happening, but they're stirring. So that's good. Did you guys have to do that when you were kids? You know, when they tell you to rub your tummy and pat your head at the same time? I mean, it was hit or miss. I'll tell you that. Sometimes I did very well, but you know, I bet my brother would be super good at this because he's an amazing piano player. So his brain is definitely capable of telling its left and right hands to do different things at the same time. But not me. He got all the left hand genes, I guess, left and right. Okay, I'm actually getting a cramp in my hand because I'm not used to using my left hand this much, I guess. Can you see there's a film of wax forming around the edge of the walls here? Again, that's for a couple of reasons. The vessel that I poured the hot wax into was cold. There's not a lot of wax in here to begin with, so that's another thing. That means it's going to cool down quickly. You see how it's starting to get cloudy already? Okay, so it's 7:19. Oh, actually 7:20. So we're done stirring. So I'm going to put this aside for a second. Actually, no, I'm not. I want to pour these first because this needs to solidify a little bit. So ideally, we are looking to pour this wax at about 150 to 160 degrees. Okay, 143. So we're even lower than I was hoping, which is great, but also not great because that means I'm definitely gonna have to put that in the microwave. Okay, so let me grab all of these. We are going to, all of the big hearts are the ones we're going to be using. And again, I'm going to pour halfway. So here we go. Can I just say, it is a lot harder than you'd think to only pour halfway. I have major issues. I've done this more than once where I've had to actually use a pipette to take some out because I put too much. It's not a skill of mine. It's not bad. Okay, I'm actually not going to make the fourth tray. I'm going to stick with just these three. So I'll definitely have a little bit of wax left, and that's fine. I don't care. I'll melt it later and put it in some more molds. It's not a big deal. I'm going to set this aside for a few minutes while we deal with this now. What's your situation? Oh my gosh, you're really low. Okay, I'm going to put this in the microwave, and it really needs to go in for 2 seconds because if it goes in for longer than that, it's going to go up to like 200 degrees and I'm going to be not impressed. That's what I always do. So I'm going to stare at this like it owes me money because I really don't want it to like skyrocket the temperature. I just want it to, give me a little bit more melted wax and bring it up a little bit. Okay, it's been like 15 seconds. Let's see. $134. That's not bad. I'll go a little bit more. 134 degrees is enough. Like it's gotten to the point where at least it's melted. And I just want the color to bond. Okay. This should be good enough. Let's see. 150. Quite frankly, I don't know if it matters what temperature you mix in your color. I assume you want it to be up at 185, the same as the fragrance oil. Because, the whole molecule bonding thing. Okay, so this is only 45 grams of wax plus the 5 of fragrance oil, so 50 grams total, which means we don't need a lot of liquid dye in here to make this super vibrant. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put 3 drops in here. 1, 2, 3. This liquid dye is highly concentrated, so you really don't need a lot. But I don't want these to be pink. I want them to be red. So we're going to mix this. Now for liquid dye, I don't know about the temperature thing. I will look into that actually now that we're talking about it. But you definitely don't need to stir it for 3 minutes. 30 seconds to a minute, that's fine. It's not a big deal. It will bond way faster. You just want to make sure you've blended it well and you're mixing it well. But it doesn't need to be for a year like you do for the fragrance oil. I get really bitter about how long you have to wait and stir fragrance oil. I have to constantly remind myself that it needs to be 3 minutes and it's okay and it'll be better and 3 minutes is not that bad and suck it up, Mary. So that's really red. So this is going to be great. So now we have 2 options. Now in the past, I have used this bigger mold, well, it's not a bigger mold. It's a small mold, but it's bigger than this little heart mold, right? So let me show you the difference because I've pre-made a bunch of these, as I said. So here are rainbow hearts. This size right here, that's these guys, okay? And they are tucked in here, but your guess is as good as mine as to which color is where, because I wasn't smart enough to do one color per tray so that I would remember. No. I just put them willy-nilly, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know what's what. That's okay. It'll be a surprise. And then these little guys are from that tray there. So it's up to you how much of the color you want to put inside of each of them, right? But I really I did a combination of all of them. So I don't actually know if this little guy is going to give a lot of color or not. But we're going to make some and possibly use them for that purpose. Okay. Are you ready to be poured? You're at 116. I could have poured this at like 150, but I wanted to show you the difference between them all. So let me move this out of the way. So I'm going to put some, you guys come closer. Scoot, scoot, scoot. Okay. I'm going to pour a little bit in here, and I'm going to put a few in these little small hearts. The thing about pouring this is it's very frustrating, and you don't want to pour it full. Remember, you're going a half pour. A half a mold pour on all of these things, because if it's too thick, you'll see it. You'll see it through the back of the melt, which we don't want. Okay. You get the point. This is what we're going to be doing. So I would recommend, if you have no patience like me, to use a pipette for that. It'd be much easier. And I did use a pipette when I made all of these before, because I made a bunch. But we're going to do some testing, because we got to wait for these to solidify a little bit. So I'm going to pull my wax melt. This is my electric one out, just to start warming it up. This takes a few seconds to warm up because it has this what is this? Ceramic. It's like a ceramic dish that sits on top of the heating element. And then there's this little silicone dish that goes inside. I love this wax melter, by the way. I got it from Amazon for like 50 or 60 bucks, I think. Totally, totally worth it. But the timer is not going to work forever. Like, they come with a little timer. Oh, you can set it for an hour. No, it dies. But it doesn't matter. Still very, very good. I highly recommend. But it takes a few seconds for it to warm up really well. Okay, we're going to pour some of these little guys. So this is what I mean by, how are you supposed to know how many grams? Like, this was a total guess, right? Like, I know I didn't even need 50 grams of colored wax. I knew that, but to melt less than 50 grams is, I didn't mean to do that. That's okay. To melt less than 50 grams of wax, or like to have less than 50 grams in total of your mixture, is kind of just asking yourself for trouble, because it's never going to stay warm and it's going to solidify it right away. So you need some level of volume. There's like a minimum that you can work with comfortably. Oh, I poured that too high. Beautiful. Shall we finish these off while we're waiting? Why not? I have a little patience tonight. Last time I used this mold, too much, Mary. Last time I used this mold, I tried the technique of pouring the wax like just over top of it, and then using like a wood stick to spread it into the mold, like the actual cavities of the mold. And it was horrible. It worked just fine. The result was fine, but all of that extra wax that kind of like pooled on the edges, like around everything on the in-betweens, they cracked, and it was horrible. It was very, very messy, and no mi piace. So I'm just sharing that with you so that you can avoid that for yourself in the future. You're welcome. Yeah, so I mean, I got a considerable amount. I actually have quite a bit still stuck on the vessel itself, on the inside here. See? And on the bottom. I could easily pop this into the microwave and get another couple of hearts, but I'm not concerned because we have plenty. And also, we're not using these right now. The wax melts that we're going to melt together, I have already pre-made. They're these guys right here. So, but I wanted to go through the whole process with you because this is super fun. I really enjoy this whole concept. And Okay, so let's see what temperature you're at. 110. So we're getting close to the temperature we want to pour at, but we need these. What's that? 89. 89 and 90. So I wanted these to be around 90 to 93. You see how this is starting to get that shell over top? That's what you want. But I feel like these need to solidify just a little bit more. So I'm going to help this get a little bit. Are you warm yet? No. No, not at all. See, everything happens at the same time when I'm making candles. It never fails. It's like everything's melted at the same time. It all needs to happen at the same time. It's fine. It's chill. It's not a big deal. I'm going to actually bring out some other tea light melters, and we're going to start melting those tea lights shortly as well, because I'm really excited to see what colors in each of these, because I have no idea. I still can't believe I did that. That I just popped them in here willy-nilly, and I don't know what colors where. What a dummy. Actually, it's nice. It's a surprise, but I had hoped to be able to melt one of each color, but now it's going to be we'll see. Oh, man. So tell me, if you guys were going to make these tonight, and if you are making them tonight, what color mini heart would you put in here? Because I made myself a rainbow, which was a lot of fun. But for today, we're just doing red, which is, bleeding heart. What do you think of? Hello, red. Absolutely. So earlier I mentioned about Millennium soy wax, the wax that we've used for all of this tonight and all of that. Usually when I work with silicone molds, I'm a very big fan of using pillar soy wax because it's designed to be a harder wax, which makes it easier to demold, especially when you have shapes that have things like, say, a gingerbread man with arms and legs and a head. It's very easy to accidentally decapitate and dismember. So to avoid that from happening, pillar wax is what you want to be using. However, these shapes are so solid that it's really unlikely for it to be an issue to demold these. I can't see these hearts cracking. And in fact, all of the ones that I've made previously that are here, I have a bunch on the table behind me. None of them broke when I demolded them, which is something to consider because Millennium soy wax is a bit of a soft wax. That's why it's so good for melts. Okay, we're at 100 degrees, which is what I wanted in order to pour. And 90 here, which is also what we were looking for to put the hearts in, because you don't want it to get too solid. All right, let's pop some hearts in there. I'm going to do a bunch of every color, I think. I've got a couple of red ones. I've got some blue. I've got some orange. Okay, I'm going to start with the big ones. I will do a big blue. Oops, I pushed that a little too hard. You want it to sit. So this is a little thick for my taste. I should have made this a little bit thinner. But you want them to sit on the surface like a drop. Boop. And you'll see that the weight pushes it a tiny bit. Because we want it to be under the surface. Because remember, I have to cover this now. So you need enough room so that the heart doesn't pop out of the back, which is why I'm trying not to push it too much. But it still needs to be deep enough that you can get a full cover on top. Now, just to be clear, you don't have to use a heart inside of here. You could just have a piece of colored wax to put in here. I put a heart inside the heart because I think it's super cute. But you don't have to do that. Let's use this big one too first. Oh boy, that one really fell in there. That's all right. You'll be fine. Could probably put 2 of these little red ones in here. That's the other thing. I don't know of these ones that I have waiting to be melted. I don't actually know if it's the small one or the big one that's in there, nor will we be able to tell, I don't think. It's going to be a mystery forever. Forever? Yes, forever. It's all right. We'll know as soon as it starts to bleed. All right. This is supposed to be orange. It's kind of tangerine-y. I'm going to do one more big one, I think. Let's do a blue one. A blue heart. Woo. Okay. All right. This is exciting. We're going to pour over top. How you doing? Are you warm yet? Yeah, you're starting to get warm. Okay, good. Get warmer. Let's see. What are we at here? 96. Okay, this is a little bit lower in temperature than I would have liked. And the reason why that's a problem is because once we start to pour out some of this wax, that heat's going to start escaping even faster. And the wax that's left on the bottom is going to start to solidify and get slushy really fast. So we're going to have to move it. Chop, chop. Okay, here we go. So the reason you want it to that lower temperature of 100 degrees or so is because it's still liquid enough to cover and pour. But it's not so hot that it will melt the melts, the colored hearts inside. At least I hope not. I might have to come back and top that up a little bit more. It's a challenge because I don't want to overflow the mold, but I don't want the heart to show. Oh. That one got a little aggressive. So this is the part of the wax that I'm talking about now. It's starting to get slushy in my pour pot. But I think we're still liquid enough to not have an issue here. So this is going well. Okay. Ooh. This went very well. I don't even think I need to touch anything up. I have a bunch of wax left, again, because I have another one of these molds off to the side. I just didn't feel like fighting with 4 of them on this table. But if you have these exact same molds, which, by the way, I picked up at Dollarama for, I want to say $1.50 or $1.75, then absolutely, if you use all 4, the measurements that we did tonight would work perfectly, I think. So that's how you make a bleeding heart wax melt. That's how you tuck a color inside of a wax melt. Now you can see that it came out, they're very thick. These are not your traditional sized wax melts. They're going to be, it's no joke. But the ones that I pre-made came out beautiful. I'm so thrilled. No like obvious color popping through. So we're going to see how they all melt because we are done creating our melts. We're just waiting for them to all solidify now. I'm going to actually move this off to the side and I'm going to bring out a few more wax melters. Actually, you know what, dude? You can just ski-daddle. I'm going to move you out of here completely so that I have more room. Actually, these are already solid. Let me actually see if I can feel any heat. I don't even feel heat underneath them, so I would give these another 10 minutes and demold them because they'd be ready to use. I would wait to put them inside of another wax melt, however, because you do want it to be really solid so that you don't accidentally melt them while you're making them. I should have put this on parchment paper so that I could slide it more gracefully. Okay. Let's get everybody together. You stay over here. I've got myself a whole bunch of tea light. These are called tea light wax warmers, I think. But I think so, though. I'm going to show you each of them because they're so pretty. And then we're going to light the tea lights and put the melts on here. I got this one from Dollar Tree. I don't know, a week, not too long ago. Maybe like a month or 2 ago. I'm going to just use one of these little tea lights that I also got from the dollar store and pop that in there. Then I have this guy, which is a traditional looking one. I think this one's always funny because to me, it looks like he's screaming. Ah! Because the eyeballs, you know? And also I'm a child, just in case you were wondering. Okay. So that's the second one. I don't know what colors we're going to get now. And This is number 3, and this guy looks like a beehive, which is so cute. I've never seen one like this again, but I did get this at Dollar Tree, but a few years ago. All right, so we've got wax melts on each. I'm gonna light these tea light ones because they're gonna start melting faster. Where's my lighter? They're gonna start melting faster because there's an open flame underneath it. They'll melt pretty fast. But it's still going to take a few minutes, so, you know, we have time to kill. This is very exciting. But you definitely need to have the right size wax melter, or else you're going to have quite a mess. But this is going to be a blast. Okay. So, since we have a little time to kill while we're waiting for this to melt a little bit, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Millennium soy wax because I like to talk about things and you're here, so you might as well listen. The reason why we're using Millennium soy wax, I talked about why I'm not using Pillar soy wax for the melts and because it would be easy to demold. But the reason I'm using Millennium soy wax for the wax melt altogether is because it's just kind of designed for it. It's definitely known as a melt wax. It can be used for container as well. I've used it for candles that are in containers. I love Millennium soy wax's finish. It's very creamy and beautiful, and it's really beginner friendly. So it's a low frosting type of soy wax. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that, because oftentimes when you make something with color on a soy, using soy, you can get this frosting, this film. Do you see this white crackly film all around and that bit over there? This is because of a few things. Number one, just before we talk about why it looks like this, let me just say that this means nothing. It doesn't change the way it works. The scent throw is going to be just as beautiful. It's going to do an excellent job for you regardless of the frosting. It's purely aesthetic, okay? So don't stress about that. But it does bug me that they don't come out with that beautiful, you know, smooth, creamy finish. And instead, you get this splotchy kind of color. And this is because it's soy. And it's all soy. It's not like a little bit of soy and a little bit of something. This in particular, Millennium soy wax, is full soy. Are you guys starting to melt? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Okay. It's getting toasty. Anyway, so unfortunately, I don't know of a way to ensure that this doesn't happen. You can try pouring at different temperatures. You can mix in stuff. Like, there are additives you can add in order to ensure you don't get this frosting and color discoloration. It's almost like, have you ever seen old chocolate? Old meaning it's not brand new. And it has like that color of like almost like a white creamy skin on it. The chocolate's still good. It's just the skin. Oh, okay, this one's really starting to melt now. So we might get a little bit of color out of you soon. I'm going to guess that this one is green because I can just barely, faintly see a little bit of something there. I'm going to guess it's green. I don't know why, but I'm guessing. Okay, they're all starting to melt now. Oh my God, this is so exciting. And you can see those are all solidifying really well, except this one gave me a bubble. That's unfortunate. It's going to sink on me a little bit. It's going to give me a sinkhole. And there's not really a good way to fix a sinkhole on a wax melt other than trying to melt the wax to see if you can, I don't know what, maybe with a rubber glove, try to close it up. But it might not be much of anything once it's completely solidified. We'll see. Anyway, as I was saying about the hearts and the discoloration and the frosting, this is something that's bothered me for a long time. And every time I make wax melts, they always come out with this kind of filmy look, and that's soy wax. So it's something that you just need to embrace if you're going to be working with soy wax. And that's the case for a lot of things, actually. Like on this channel, I make a lot of wreaths, and oftentimes I use a material called deco mesh to create a beautiful base wreath. And deco mesh is just known for having strings and flyaways. So if you're going to use that and get the benefits of the beautiful, vibrant colors, then you're going to need to accept the fact that, hey, you might just have to live with the flyaways. And the same thing applies, I think, with frosting and discoloration when it comes to soy wax and color. Now, an alternative would be, instead of using soy wax for your toppers, you could use paraffin or a paraffin soy. I think they call that parasoy, which is a combination of paraffin and soy together. There's also additives you can add in. I can't think of any off the top of my head because I don't know what they would be. Okay, we're definitely melting right now. Except for you. You know, you're very disappointing. I turned you on before everybody else. I knew you were going to be slower, but still. Oh, it's happening. It's on over here. Ooh, this is exciting. Okay, guys, guess. What colors do you think we got going on over here? This heart turned itself. That's funny. I mean, you're warm. Boop. This is exciting. So yeah, you can do this with any shape, I guess. I guess it doesn't really matter. I've never tried anything other than hearts, and I'm definitely going to change that this year. The thing is, it's hard to get a mold that's big enough to do this. I guess you could just use really, really small bits of wax on the inside to do the colored part. I'm starting to think that this is going to overflow before it starts to show the color, because this is a pretty shallow basin, and these are thick. We might have overflow, which is not a big deal, but just for the record, from a safety perspective, it would be in your best interest to maybe have a dish underneath these. But I like to not practice what I preach sometimes, so we're going to be reckless, and we're going to like fly by the seat of our pants over here and just live with it if I get wax on the table. That's not a big deal. Oh boy. If this was a race, neck and neck, pulling up third, dude, are you even on the track is the question. Nobody knows. I mean, I guess you're tying your shoelaces at the start line or something. Something's going on. It's melting, but it's pathetic. But again, I love this electric one. It is super convenient because you can turn it off and walk away at any time. Well, same, you can blow the candles out here. Then you don't have to worry about having tea light candles either, right? Because you just have your melter and you're good to go. Let's see, what else I didn't mention about Millennium soy wax is that it actually has better scent throw. It's a container wax, which is naturally softer, and that allows it to hold and release fragrance more effectively than a hard pillar wax like we were talking about before. So your house is going to definitely smell like strawberry jam and vanilla cream a lot faster than if you were using pillar wax for this. I think I'm starting to see a little bit of color here. This one's yellow. This one's blue. This one's green. Oh my God, if you're red, I'm going to be so thrilled with myself because I'll have gotten every color. Oh, did I say yellow? That means orange. You? It's like this right now. Oh my God, you better be red. Hurry, hurry, hurry. I'm so impatient. Can you see? It's starting to, this is going to definitely overflow. I wonder if I should suck some of the wax out with my, with a pipette. Should I do that? That's probably a good idea, actually. Oh. Let's put it over here. I'm going to recycle my wax tonight. Oh, yeah, that's definitely green. I've definitely never done this before. Taking wax off of a melter and putting it into a mold. Definitely a first for me. Does anybody else find it funny that I'm taking the wax off of this one and I have to bring it all the way over here when I could have just put it right here? You know? Typical Mary, make it more complicated than it needs to be. Dude, get it together. People are watching. Just try. Oh man, I'm so thrilled. Look at this. That's so cute. You're about to overflow too. Let me get a little bit of you out of here. Yeah, so keep that in mind. These molds are serious. That is a serious amount of wax coming out of there. Man, this is so cool. I love this concept. It's so great. The bleeding heart. So tell me, what color would you make? What would be your favorite color? I also did I do black last time? I think I did. Let me see if I can remember. I think I did white with red and red with black, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Mary from the future is going to put that up in the corner over here if you're watching this in the replay. Oh my gosh, this one's quick. You're definitely the fastest melter. Yeah, this would totally have overflowed if I wasn't doing this. I don't think this one will, though. I think it has to do with the shape of the top of the melter. You look like you're about to overflow again. Suck it up. I wonder what color this heart that I'm pouring in the corner over here is going to turn out to be. That's an interesting idea. I wonder if it'll come out like... Bro, are you even awake? Like, hola, señorita. Oh, I think this one's going to be green. I think I'm getting some green over here. Aw, bummer. I wanted red. Take a little bit more out of here. If this really turns out to be green, oh, it is green. I can see that it's green. Bummer. Should we try another one? But to try it on the slowest one, I'd really want to cry. Oh my gosh, this is like almost done. Okay, so this one won. Actually, I don't know. Would you say these are the same? These two? Almost, right? That's a little bit of a weirder shape, but I'd say they're roughly the same size. That's interesting. This one's taking a minute. Should I take this out and try another one? Yeah, let's do that. Why not? It's fun. Okay, I'm going to line up the ones I have left, and we're going to guess which one we think is red. All right, these are all of them. Okay, which one is calling to you? Which one is red? I think it's this one. What do you guys think? Are we going to guess? We'll give it a shot? Okay, I'm going to pull this out of here. Am I going to put you on? A piece of parchment paper. Look at that. That's so cool. Okay, I need you to get out of here. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even think of that. Pour that right out. Okay, we're going to start again. This is my red heart guess. So cross your fingers. Man, these are turning out so cool. What do you guys think? Fun, right? It's a cute little fun project. I enjoy this. I remember the first time I saw this online, because everything I do for the most part is something I've seen online or some variation of something I've seen that I then try to make. And the first time I saw this, I was like, oh, what a cool idea. These are really nice sized hearts too. But definitely something to be concerned about, because if you were giving this to somebody, you definitely have to warn them that you got to stay on top of it or your wax is going to, which I guess is fine. But again, having a dish underneath would be better. Well, as you can see, the wax melts we just made are pretty well solidified, and I didn't get as good of a topper on these two, and maybe this one. We'll see. I'll give it a few more minutes to solidify a little longer, but you can see that there's something. You might not know what's in there, but you can see something's in there, right? But not on these ones. That's another fun part of this, is the whole trying to disguise it. It's like an extra element of fun in all of this, you know? Anyway, I really enjoyed making these. I hope you enjoyed making them with me. I'm going to hang out and see what color this turns out to be. I think this one's going to be red. I have it in my heart that it's going to be red. You know what I think I might do? Because I really want to see, and I don't want to wait. I think I might suck this one off out of there and put that in. I almost said something really disgusting, which I did not mean to say at all. Let's pull all of this wax out of here. And we're going to put that red heart in there because I'll bet you that is red. I'm doing this the slowest way possible, just for the record. What you could do is blow out the tea light and then just pour this out. But I don't want to do that. This won't take that long. I'm getting wax all over my table today. That's okay. It needs a good cleaning. It'll be fine. I was hoping that this heart would beat me to it, but I don't think so. I think this is going to be what we're going to end up doing. I've literally never thought of ever doing this before. Look at these ones are going to come out like multicolored. That's really funny. Okay, we got most of the color out of there. But I want it to be very red, so I'm going to actually still clean that off a little bit because I don't want the orange to interfere. Okay. How you doing? Okay. Be fast. Here. There you go. Sorry. It's like, I mean, I was doing my best, Mary. And I mean, you were. And you're an excellent little green heart. But I was looking for red. Okay? I'm just... You're beautiful, but just not what I needed right now. Okay? Well, that one's fully done. This one, I'm very impressed that it hasn't melted over yet. So, fingers crossed that it doesn't overflow. I mean, I could suck some of that out and pour it into there, but I'd rather live with the question mark and see if it happens or not. What a cute little project. So remember, if you wanted to gift these out to anybody, reminder, these little tins are super cute. I've never seen Valentine tins before. I've seen the ones for like Christmas and stuff, which are super cute, but I've never seen these ones. Now, keep in mind, this is a very soft wax, which is why they melt so fast and do so well as melts. But it also means that if you're not careful, you can break them apart a little bit and they will rub off on things. So the inside of your container is going to look like little bits and like scrapes along the sides. You'll see wax everywhere, but it's fine. It's okay. Okay. Bummer, it's orange. It's the same one. All right, well, I'm going to concede some defeat because I am not planning to sit here all night staring at bleeding hearts, but it was definitely a blast making them. And as you can see, we did a pretty good job today. I would say like 10 out of 10 on most of these. That's probably like an 8, 8, and an 8 because I can definitely see there's something in there, even if I can't tell what the color is. So, meh. But overall, I'm super thrilled with the way this turned out. And we got to see a rainbow, even if we never did get to the red. So I really enjoyed making these. I hope you enjoyed making them with me. If you're interested in learning more about candle making or wax melt making, check out my channel. I have tons of beginner-friendly videos, lives like these ones where I talk you through every single step and we discuss the products, we discuss all kinds of things. And I ramble. So if you're interested in seeing more of that kind of content, I definitely have many more lives available on replay for you. And if you're interested in a more condensed version, I have tons of tutorials that are 10 to 15 minutes in length that are beginner friendly as well. And lots of fun projects that I completed over the last couple of years. It's been a real blast working on this YouTube channel. I've had so much fun doing all of these different projects. I hope you enjoyed making these bleeding wax melts with me tonight. I had a blast. And don't forget to subscribe so that we can continue to get crafty together. Toodaloo!